Hey y'all, so I know it's been a minute since we've done a car chronicles. I promise I am being safe. I'm going to keep my eyes on the road, but I wanted to document this in real time because oftentimes this is just has nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but this may be for anybody who needs to hear it. Oftentimes there's things that I want to say, that I want to do, that I want to share, that I am so hyper focused on it being like the perfect time, the perfect look, the perfect this. All the things have to be in the right place at the right time in order for me to do it. And the reality is that that's just not how life works all the time. And so what I would normally do is delay what it is that I need to say because I am feeling, like this is not the appropriate time, or I need to wait until, maybe I'm sitting at my desk or I'm in the house or something, whatever the case may be. And so today I was intentional about like, all right, no, I know that this is something that I need to share. So do it now, start, whatever. That is my encouragement for right now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Do it now. So the reason why we're doing a call chronicle today is because at the beginning of the year, I told y'all this was the year of doing. One of the things that I wanted to do was more networking opportunities, primarily because my business got started right before the pandemic. If you know my story, I quit my job in June of 2019. The world shut down in March of 2020. And so I was at the very beginning stages of even knowing what it was that God was calling me to do. And so I did not have a lot of opportunities to network with other people, other women, other businesses, to kind of see how things were going and growing, right? How they were doing things within their own businesses. Now, did I do some stuff virtually and join some courses or some programs and stuff like that? I did. So I'm not going to say I didn't network at all. However, it's one thing to network with people who live 5,000 miles away from you. It's another thing to network with people who are right in your backyard, right? There's a sense of community, there's a sense of belonging, and accessibility, right? And so I told myself that was something that I wanted to do. I shared it with a few people that I have met via social media, and so in the beginning, like when stuff would come up, I was like, oh, I don't even know. It's like the littlest stuff I was worried about. What do I wear, right? Or what am I going to say when I get there? All these different things. And so time kept passing, right? Like there would be opportunities that people would say, oh, XYZ is happening. Do you want to come? Whatever. And I'd be like, oh, no, I didn't feel like it, right? And so I started to recognize that more and more things were escaping me. Time was moving. Like I was about to be missing out on some great opportunities in meeting and being introduced to some amazing people because I didn't feel like it, or because maybe it didn't seem like something that I would necessarily be a part of, or even in all honesty, some of it is just self-doubt and fear of being in that space and having to speak up and say, hey, I own a business, I'm doing this is what I'm trying to create. How can you help, right? But like I said, as time was going on, I just realized that you can't operate like that. And if I really wanted this business to be successful, which I do, like I can't operate in a silo, right? And so I was like, all right, Bun, you just gonna have to do it. Like whenever someone invites you to something. So I had one person who was like, I'm just gonna invite you to stuff, and I was like, all right, cool. So she invited me to a couple of things, but just so happened I was out of town those days. And so then she recently invited me to something next week, and I was like, oh yeah, I can finally go. Then there's something today that for me, I actually reached out to someone else and was like, are you going? Because it's kind of a membership thing and you have to be somebody's plus one. So I was even proud of myself that I even asked to be her plus one, right? Like it, that was a big deal for me, but I knew, I was like, but in order for things to be different, you're going to have to do things differently. And it is so easy for us to get just like caught up and wrapped up in just ourselves and our thoughts and what's not going the right way, or not even that what's not going the right way. What are the things that are going fine, right? Like there's some stuff that's just going, it's just like this, straight across. And it's not going bad and it's not going, amazing, but you're getting stuff, you're getting opportunities. People are reaching out to you. You're still getting, clients. You're still, people know who you are. People are referring you to other stuff. Like there's still things happening where you're like, oh, this is moving the needle a little bit. I had this thought earlier and I was like, when I was in leadership and I had to do my evaluations, there the way that the evaluations were just in 3 steps, right? And so it was below, oh my gosh, now I can't even remember. I had it earlier, but it was like below expectations, meets expectations, and above expectations, right? Clearly, if you below expectations, baby, I'm talking to you every day. But there was one year that when I was giving people meets expectations and I was reading what it said, it was literally like you were doing exactly what that job description said. You showed up and you showed up on time every day. You made sure you called out. You made sure that the work that you were supposed to be doing was exactly what it was supposed to be done, right? You got along well with your colleagues. You did whatever the physician asked. Like you did your job. Like you meet expectations, showing up and doing your job every single day. But I would have these conversations with my staff where I would be like, meeting expectations is good. Like that's great. Like we want that. Those are the type of the employees that we want, because those are the ones that will stay, right? But in order for us to be at a place of like excellence, I need everybody above expectations. That means that you are trying to do more. Like you're not just trying to just do the one thing and let that be the end of it, right? And so I had to do a grade on myself about how I was showing up in my business. And I was like, in some areas, you are below expectations. And in some areas, you're just meeting expectations. And so that's okay, right? And you can keep this business, right? But where is it going? When you are thinking of your career path and you are thinking of, I remember telling one staff member, like, I'm so glad that you've been doing this for as long as you've been doing it and you've been meeting expectations every year. But when it comes time for me to refer someone in this office to do something or send somebody somewhere, I was like, although you meet expectations here, I never ask you to do anything else. You know why? Because you never show me that you'll do more than what is expected of you. So I send the people who are yearning for more. Like, I'm doing this, but I need more. Now I'm bored. These are the people that's like, can I create this? Can I help you with this? Can I, how do I do that? And it's like, you're going to keep your job meeting expectations. I can guarantee that. But I can also guarantee that nobody's looking at you. I can also guarantee that your name is not being spoken in rooms about like, who do we need to do this? No, you're fine right on over here. And so when I think about that, when it comes to me being a business owner, I want my name spoken in rooms that I have no idea that they're being spoken in, right? I want opportunities that are like, what, me? Like you want me to do that? I want people on my show who find me, or that I find that are, elite in their game, and they want the connection to slaying self-doubt because they know how, like what this business means to me and how I'm operating, right? And I'm operating in excellence, and they know that alignment is going to be amazing, right? And so I really had to just give myself, I don't know, a coaching, a write-up, whatever it was. I gave myself an evaluation, and baby, if someone was paying me, I don't know if I would have got an increase this year. You hear me? And so it really made me just take pause, right, and say, all right, Bum, what do you need to be doing differently? Like I said, this is one of the things, networking, getting out into the community, letting people know what slaying self-doubt is, what we do. And then, I have all these ideas of things that I want to be able to do that I may not be gifted in that thing, but somebody else in a different networking atmosphere or a different networking community may be able, like, I can connect you with this person who does X, Y, and Z, right? Two, there are things that I have been sitting on. I said this, child, probably last year, that there's stuff that I have created that out of fear of perfection and fear of not having everything together, like I can't do it. And I last week when Threads came out, there was a post that I think either Mark Zuckerberg did or the CEO of Instagram had put up, and was like, they were so grateful that so many people had joined the app. And they were like, and it's not, this is like the bare bones of it. It's still more to be done. But the amount of people that were engaged in it, the amount of people that were like, this is it, like, I love it, blah blah blah, I love it here, all these different things. It's like, it ain't even finished yet. Like, it isn't, like, the idea that they have and what it is they want to do, it is not at completion. But they did it anyway, and it was a hit. And it was just a motivation to me that, like, it does not have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. It needs to be completed. You have things on your list that you said you wanted to do by the end of this year, and the only thing that's stopping you is you. And so I wanted to do this in real time, of me going to this place to show you that sometimes you just got to get in your car and go. Sometimes you just got to go to the store, get the stuff that you need to be able to put together the thing you need to put together, and do the work, right? Sometimes you need to just get in the car, go to the networking event, meet some people, exchange numbers, exchange social media handles, and then go back home. Sometimes you need to sit down and you need to finish that chapter. Sometimes you need to sit down, grab the mic, and start the podcast. Sometimes you need to just do the next thing that's going to move you closer to where you are trying to go. So I know that was a lot, but I really wanted to be able to share that, because lots of times we see people elevating and doing all these amazing things, and we are happy for them. My girl Casey Renee said on Threads today, like, we ain't really supposed to be comparing ourselves to other people, but I be doing it, right? And it's like, it's not in a negative way, but sometimes you be thinking to yourself, like, dang, like, she is killing it. Like, what made her, like, remove the doubt, all the things, and just, like, go? Or what did she need to tell herself to bring her doubt with her? What did she need to tell herself to just do it, right? And so I think that there's nothing wrong with comparing yourself, as long as it doesn't get you to the point of paralyzation, right? Or envy and jealousy, because that's not cute. But I do think that it's important for us to be around like-minded people who are doing things, because that motivates you. When you go to a gym class, everybody's body is different, okay? But the fact that everybody's showing up, and the fact that everybody's doing the same thing that you were doing, you are encouraged to keep going. You then encourage somebody else who look like they about to die. The girl, come on, we got this. And then you start to see the change. Then you start to see the transformation. And so all I'm saying to you is just get up and go. That is my encouragement for this weekend. Whatever it is that you need to do, get up and go do the next thing. I'm on my way to that place. I will let you know how it turns out. Until later. See ya.